But I don't see how you can avoid having some type of religious test for potential immigrants and refugees. Governments can keep pretending religion has nothing to do with it, but the public are sick of hearing about the religion of peace. They know this is not true, and they want something to be done about it. Here's Sam Harris articulating that view in conversation with Maajid Nawaz recently.
There's a kind of a gut reaction that I know millions upon millions of people are having to things like what we just saw in Germany, the recent atrocity at the Christmas market, right? So you have a Tunisian immigrant who murders a truck driver and runs his truck into a crowd of people, and I think was it 12 who died in the end? I don't know if any.
About 50 injured, yeah.
Okay.
Roughly.
So you see something like this, and this is happening in the context of this wave of immigration coming into Europe largely by virtue of the war in Syria, although there are other reasons. And there's just the brute fact that 100% of jihadists are Muslim, right? These are not the Amish, they're not the Scientologists, they're not the Anglicans. If you take a community of Muslims from Syria or Iraq or any other country on earth and place them in the heart of Europe, you are importing, by definition, some percentage, however small, of radicalized people or people who will be prone to radicalism at some future date where they just decide to start watching too many Anwar al-Awlaki videos. It's just, again, this only happens to Muslims or people who are likely to become Muslim, right? So you see this massacre in the Christmas market, and I think many people will feel, what is the fucking point of having more Muslims in your society? It seems perfectly rational to say, we don't want any more. We have enough, right? And certainly increasing the percentage is not a help to anyone who loves freedom of speech and anything else, any of the other liberal values that you and I just spoke about maximizing. It's not worth the trouble. And if we can figure out some way to keep the number of Muslims down in any society, whether we're honest about this or whether we do this covertly, clearly it's rational to want to do this.
And let me put some more numbers around that concern here in Australia. Australia's Justice Minister Michael Keenan says our security agencies have stopped 12 terrorist plots in 2.5 years and charged nearly 60 people, all Muslims. We also learnt this week that 500 Iraqi and Syrian refugees bound for Australia in the past year have been refused entry after their names were found on an international security watch list. Many were simply criminals, but at least 30 were on ASIO's National Security Terrorism Watch List, with more red flagged by other intelligence agencies. But the left keeps protesting about not taking in more refugees and why we're not doing it faster.